In the presentation you just watched about Canada, we saw a lot of things that were different from Brazil and Canada. Things like geography or seasons, weather, the things we eat, and those are very different. But we actually struggle with a lot of the same things that Brazil does. We struggle with teen pregnancy, with divorce, negative self-image, bad relationships, abuse, drug use, alcohol. These are things that affect us every single day the way that it affects you. And we're here today to share our personal testimonies of how they affected us, but how we overcame them. When we were younger, we all started to believe lies. These aren't the lies that, we lied to our parents and we brushed our teeth or did our laundry. These are lies that we believed about ourselves. Maybe they weren't said directly to us, but lies that say, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, I'm not beautiful. And these are things that we grew up believing. But today we're going to show you how giving these parts of our hearts away to these lies didn't help us, and how we overcame them. I used to believe the lie that I was no good when I was sober.
I used to believe the lie that I couldn't have a healthy relationship.
I used to believe the lie that a dating relationship would define who I was.
I used to believe the lie that I had to be perfect.
I used to believe the lie that being a virgin meant that you're unloved or uncool.
I used to believe the lie that there was no real reason for me being here. So in the video you're about to watch, you will see people looking in mirrors.
And what they think of themselves.
So in the video you just saw the people that were looking in the mirror and believing lies about themselves, like, I'm not beautiful, I'm not good enough. My lie in that video was, I'm not talented. I believed that because I wasn't as good as somebody at something, that I didn't have any form of talent. And I also believed that my friends only were my friends because they felt like they had to be, that it was an obligation. So last year I had to decide either to stay in my friends' shadows and the uncertainty of the friendship, which was what I was familiar with, or I could become my own person and step out of my comfort zone, find out who I was. And if I hadn't, then I wouldn't be the person that I am today and be as happy. I'm not saying that my insecurities are gone. I still deal with them today. It's just I'm not letting them control my life. So are you letting your insecurities hold you back, or are you using them as motivation to keep moving forward?
I believed the lie that I needed to be perfect.
My greatest fear in high school was what other people thought of me, and that very quickly manifested into an eating disorder. I compared myself to the petite, popular girls and what I thought I needed to look like. I needed to find my confidence in who I was, or find out like just who I was rather than who I thought I needed to be. So my question to you is, are you going to let how you view yourself rely on how others view you?
The next video you're going to see, we're going to show a relationship, a dating relationship, that ends up going down the wrong road. But what we want you to understand when we watch it is that unhealthy relationships could be found anywhere, in your parents, your siblings, your friends, even dating relationships and marriage. So enjoy the video.
You saw a girl who puts her whole self into the relationship, and the boy that she's dating, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the relationship, and he doesn't find his value in it, where she does, and the relationship becomes her whole life. And when he decides that he doesn't want to date her anymore, she's left broken and alone.
The story is, in a lot of ways, very similar to my own. I said before, I believed the lie that a dating relationship would define who I was, and this is the same lie that took a piece of my heart. See, I grew up in a family that was a really great family, a solid family, good parents. They taught us love, how to treat each other right. I got to a point where I was older where I was tired of being the good guy. I was tired of seeing all my friends who seemed like terrible people, but heck, they had a girlfriend. They were popular, they were cool, everything was going great for them. And I felt terrible all the time. I felt lonely. So I decided in grade 12 to date a girl that I knew I shouldn't have been. I knew my parents wouldn't approve. I knew it was going to be unhealthy. I knew it was for the wrong reasons because, as in the video, while she showed interest, I was only dating her because I thought she was pretty, and I didn't care who it was, just as long as I had a girlfriend. The relationship was a secret. I couldn't tell my parents. I couldn't tell my friends. But as secrets usually go, it came out, it was found out, and my world turned around, my world came crashing down. I lost the trust my parents had in me, they couldn't trust me anymore. My friends were disappointed in me because I was no longer with them. I was hurting myself because I felt guilty, I felt wrong. This relationship was ruined. I ruined her, she was mad at me, just like the girl in the video. See, when I believed the lie that if I wanted to be better, I had to be in a relationship. The truth was that if I wanted to be in a relationship, I had to grow up and learn how to be better first.
So just like Jake, my heart was left with a void, but not from a boyfriend, but from my own family. My family was dysfunctional from the beginning. It started with my parents' divorce. After that, it just sort of was a cycle of hurt and being left feeling broken and alone. When I was younger, I was abused by my older brother, and then later on, I was abused by my stepdad. And when I was 15, my mom left, and I went into foster care. And while I was in foster care, I was constantly left feeling alone and broken, and like nobody wanted me. And I thought that my relationships would look like this for the rest of my life. I thought that because I grew up in a family that was dysfunctional, that my whole life had to look like that. I didn't know how to be happy. I didn't know how to have a functional relationship. I didn't know how to be a friend or what a happy relationship looked like. I didn't know how to stand beside someone and encourage them. All I brought with me is anger and just fear and brokenness, and that's what I gave to the world. So I believe that all my relationships had to be broken because that's what I always felt like. But I made a choice that my relationships could be different. I made a choice that I was valued and that I had purpose and that people deserved to be treated better. And you can make that choice too. You don't have to become your past, and your heart doesn't have to stay broken.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Taylor.
In the video we're about to see, you'll see the story of a guy who feels unloved and unwanted. And because of that, he turns to pornography and sex to fill that emptiness, the feeling of emptiness inside of him. So this guy may look very familiar to you. Let's watch this.
Can you love like her? Steady up from waking up alone. Pink spotted drops on my shirt. Told you I'd let them go.
So what you just saw was a guy who looks very similar to me, struggle with his desire for sex or love. And he gets tempted into having sex right away. But when she leaves him, she takes a piece of his heart with her. When these still feels the emptiness inside. We see that he moves on to another girl to satisfy his craving, but his situation doesn't get any better. In my own life, I had trouble with seeing why sex and pornography was necessarily a bad thing. I believed the lie that being a virgin meant that you were unloved or uncool. I believed the lie that porn had no effect on me or my opinions. And I believed the lie that guys who had sex with a lot of girls were lucky since so many girls liked them. But the truth is, being a virgin isn't a bad thing, because it means you have yet to share that one bond with that special person. And the truth about porn is that it sets an unrealistically high standard for anyone who enjoys it, so they find hard in finding love in a spouse when they expect so much more. The guy who had sex with many women truly felt unloved inside, because nobody would stay with him, or he didn't stay with those who felt like they truly loved him. But the answer is love, and God is love. And that there are always people here for you who will love you for who you are. The answer is that we just need to believe it. Jesus can show you the love that you've always needed. Now we have Karen, who does drugs and alcohol.
Thanks, sir. In the video you're about to see, it's a video about a girl, and I happen to be the main character, and it shows to be that because it was very real in my life the way it is in this video. So she gets caught up in drugs and alcohol, and she wants him to like to party all the time because of the lies that she used to believe that she was worthless without being that person.